Hey, good evening, folks and ladies and gentlemen, I should say, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy work week to join us for another fabulous edition of Football Fury. Week 15 discussion coming up tonight, joined as always by my special co-host Timothy Spooney and our special guest, Stephen, the objectively biased one, Mr. Foggs. How's it going, gentlemen?
What's happening,
You
bro?
know me, I'm good. I mean, I'm wearing my red shirt. I got my shimmy paper. Fury hat. I'm happy.
You got the you're missing the chains. You're missing the chains.
Oh, you know what, Fox? There's no need for the chains. We got the paper right here. The paper says it all.
Paper does everything for you. It's like a 16-in-1 tool. You see those like Ninja Wallet things?
Yeah.
Just give a
all
person
in
an
one
index card for Christmas this year.
That's it. That's all you need. An index card and a football to show you how short you came up.
Just call 718-313-5155 and you get the shimmy paper as soon as you call.
Unfortunately, we don't. You can see, we don't have Sean on tonight, so sorry, folks. We don't have any call-ins tonight, but join us live on our wall. It's always open, and we do respond. So watch your mouth and your tone. Timothy, start us off. What are we talking about tonight, man?
Well, Shim, we got to talk about one of the top games that was played just this past Sunday. In our opinion, was the game of the week. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New England Patriots. And Shim, it was a very good game, but unfortunately, the Steelers lost 24-27 in a, some would say it's a controversial call and a controversial touchdown call, and also a controversial call from the sideline. Now, Shim, who do we blame for the Steelers losing this game?
Honestly,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shim.
I was just gonna put it right in Ben's shoes, man. Veteran quarterback when you're in position at the 10-yard line. That's who I'm going with, and he made the call. He made the audible right at the line. Tried to do a fake spike, and it backfired on him. So you got to take full responsibility for that. Could have gone for the timeout and the simple field goal if you really wanted to, but they take pride in their exotic offense and taking chances in Pittsburgh. So that's what happens sometimes. It's a 50-50 toss-up.
How about you, Fog?
I got to go with Josh on this one. You got to put it on Ben. Regardless of the call now, what I'm understanding is that Ben was going to spike it, and Tomlin and Haley signaled in that they wanted an audible call in order for a fake spike. Regardless of who called it, that was a great play call. It was a horrible throw by Ben. And that's exactly what Ben Roethlisberger does. He makes bad decisions at times in critical situations, which cost the Steelers. And this is all on Ben. You can't blame the refs in the Jesse James no touchdown. Listen, the rules are the rules. It is what it is. That happens in every game. You can point to 1, 2, maybe even 3 plays in every single football game where you turn around and say, man, that could have been the game changer. Yep. At the end of the day, they still had a chance to tie the game, send it into overtime, or potentially go for the win, which you would want to do against New England. You don't want to give Tom Brady an extra quarter to have an opportunity to beat you. They made a good decision. It was just a bad play decision. Not bad play decision, bad decision on the play by Ben Roethlisberger.
Fellas, you know what? I'm with Fog to the point where I wasn't mad with the play call as far as the fake field goal spike, because it just tells the Patriots, we could also go in for the field goal to tie and go for overtime. I blame Jesse James, the tight end. Beings, why was he running the same route Juju Schuster was running? That's the one thing nobody brought up this whole time, this whole week. Everybody's saying he's a Patriot, so you're going to get every call away from me. It's Mike Tomlin. You look at the play, you see Juju Schuster and the tight end, Jesse James, running the same exact route. And in my opinion, I think Juju had his guy beaten. I feel James wasn't in front of him. It could have been a clear-cut touchdown, game over. No, he might have dropped it, but it was a better chance. With Jesse James, okay, he didn't secure the catch, which, in my opinion, it's a stupid call. I'm going to admit it. It's a dumb call because it happens to Des Bryant. In my opinion, it's like, but I like what Cal said a couple of weeks ago. If it was a running back running in and went to the ground the way Jesse James is, it's a touchdown. It's a stupid rule. It's a dumb rule. I think basically they need to change that during the year, especially it's not even consistently called a game. I'm pretty sure there are games out there that happens the same way, and the refs called it a touchdown, just like that.
Tim, that's kind of a coin flip. This has been a rule that's been around for a very long time. If I'm going to blame Eli Rogers, I'm going to blame him for not securing the ball and just getting into position. That's the problem. And just to even further it, you look at these players and they try to do this ballerina shit to get the football into the end zone. Maybe blame the rules on as long as the ball breaks the plane. Because the last time I checked, when I watched guys like Walter Payton run the football, Earl Campbell run the football, John Riggins, Larry Zonka, they punched that ball through the plane. They went through there like their wives turned around and said, "Give it to me, baby." They made sure that ball was in the goddamn end zone. What you're seeing now is this twinkle toe shit where people are trying to just finesse it into the end zone. And as long as I get a piece of the football over the plane, no, maybe that rule should change, and you got to get the entire football over the plane in order to score a touchdown. It might change the way these players actually play with that ball. Maybe Jesse James secures that ball instead of trying to reach for the end zone, knowing that he still had about 20-some-odd seconds left, and they could have still ran up there and spiked the ball and been at a first and goal from the half-yard line. So, I'm not going to blame it on route running or rules. These guys got to try to go into the end zone like they want it.
I personally like the rule about completing the process too. If you're gonna catch the damn ball, keep it off the ground. You're a professional. There's no reason you cannot hold on to that ball and stop it from bobbling out of your hands and having the ball, making the ground secure for you. You're a professional. Use your hands. You're a damn wide receiver. It's your number one niche in life. Secure the ball. And I absolutely like the rule. I mean, started with Calvin Johnson. Yeah, you can't just go up there, have your backhand, make the ball pop out and think you got a touchdown. No, you didn't hold on to it. It's not a thorough reception. I absolutely like the rule. People need to learn to hold on to the ball, and it especially pisses me off that we still have sometimes these damn kick returners that'll drop the ball a la Deshaun Jackson before he even crosses the goal line. Just hold on to the damn thing and run all the way through the actual 5-yard thick white chalk line. Hold on to the ball still. Go all the way to your sideline and make sure you're still holding the ball. Then you can put it down. That pisses me off to no end when they do that shit.
Finish the play.
Well, Sterling Shepard against the Philadelphia Eagles, I think it was like week 3. I mean, his was called back, and he secured the ball. I mean, and that was a crazy call. I mean, listen, my whole thing is this: if you catch the ball,
and I agreed with the ref, Sterling Shepard is my guy, and he did not complete the process. He did the toe drag, he did the beautiful catch, but at the end he went.
But it sounds like when you secured the ball, you go down, right? Now, if the floor breaks the ball out your hand, wouldn't that be called a fumble? Like, it doesn't look like a fumble.
He didn't even establish himself as a runner, though. If he was running a good 10, 20 yards and all of a sudden he's like, "Dirt," then yeah, maybe you could argue that.
Well, that happened during the Green Bay Carolina game. That happened during at the end. That's exactly what happened. All right. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's to you fans out there watching us. Rule number one: you do not ever leave Tom Brady ever with a minute in the game. And if you give him 5 seconds in the game, make sure that he's at his own 5-yard line, because if he throws it deep, 9% is going to be a pass interference on you guys. And what's going to happen is Tom Brady will get a second chance. That's how good the Patriots are. They're going to call everything to the teeth. You got to beat the Patriots, and you got to beat the refs, everything. Steelers lost. Antonio Brown is out until the postseason. That's you. I mean, they were talking about first it's a knee, then he went to a calf, and then he's over here that he's in the hospital. It's a partially tear. Now I'm not a doctor, but partially tear is not gonna help you in 4 or 5 weeks. That means Antonio Brown is gonna miss possibly 5 to 6 weeks of football action. Rusty. And you know what? The man Martavis Bryant, that the Steelers was like, sit down, you're on the practice squad, and punish him. Now, hey, listen, he's going to be the main guy. He's going to be the guy. Wow. All right, next topic, fellas. We're going to talk about oh, man.
How your Cowboys stole the win.
Was there any controversy with the Cowboy win? Now, listen, fellas. My Dallas Cowboys won 20-17. It was a very, very good game. I'm sure that the Raiders and the Cowboys fan was at the edge of their seats at the end. Like, oh my! It was a crazy finish. My answer is no. There was no controversy at all. Everybody's crying about a piece of paper. See, this piece of paper right here, all right, this basically was the measurement the first down. In my opinion, Dak Prescott, when he went for the quarterback sneak, he was already over. The ref put in the bad spot, but one of our two MW brothers, Justin Monaco, that this same thing happened during a Browns game, I believe like 9-10 years ago, where the ref had to use the paper. Now, the ref's basically saying if the ball touches the paper, that means the ball is maybe not be over, is not before, but it's right there. It's a first down, plain and simple. The Raiders had the ball back, and what happened? They got a nice pass interference call on Jordan Lewis, the rookie, on Michael Crabtree. The Raiders are at the 10 to 15-yard line, Fogg. What happens? Derek Carr runs. He fumbles the ball in the end zone. The result is a touchback. Play was way after Papergate. So, my answer is no. There was no controversy with the Cowboy win.
Yeah, I'm going with the same answer because, as you can see, I got that GIF pulled up. This was in 2013, Tim. Exactly. And to be honest with you, Cleveland, Baltimore, I'm not sure if it's because it's the atmosphere, the teams that were playing at the time, or, maybe it's just because, I don't know. Cleveland, maybe they're just like, oh, whatever. It's Cleveland. If it's not going to be that, they could get a laser pointer out and it's whatever if they get the first down. But you can see clearly, Bill Vinovich here uses a piece of paper, gets up, he's like, you know what? F it. That's a first down. He nailed it right there. Piece of paper. It's already been done. This guy, he was so ready to pull out that piece of paper. Nothing was stopping Bill that day. It didn't even matter. Brandon Wheaton hit Jordan Cameron on that crossing route. He was like, oh, God, this is the perfect time to pull out my folded up pieces of paper. I mean, you know what? I'm going to agree with John Lynch, though, today. He tweeted out, isn't it time? I'm an old timer kind of guy, but shit, I'm almost going to go here and vouch for it's time to get a freaking chip inside the football, isn't it, fellas? It's 2017, almost going to be here, 28. Hey, we have the technology. Why don't we start endorsing it? I'm not sure how they're going to, but I'm sure you can get some technology about lasers, where that point of the ball was before the guy was brought back. forward momentum or whatever you want to call that on the field. That could always be noted with technology, I'm damn sure, but I'm sure there's going to be some of you out there in the field that are like, no, man, keep it out. It's NFL's always been like this for years. It's got to be a referee game. Don't bring it to the robots. But to answer it plain and simple, Tim, I don't remember hearing jack diddly squat about this 2013 piece of paper being used in this game. Now it's all the rave about this with the Cowboys and Raiders. Could you imagine if it was the Patriots and Raiders? Oh, man, Tuck Rule and now Papergate. Crazy. But no, I'm really not going to say there was any controversy. It was too close to call. Why not? Who cares? Give him the first down. If you didn't want him to have it, should have stuffed him.
Listen, I agree with you. There's no controversy here. And there's no controversy here for largely in part what Josh said. It's been done before. The only reason it's being highlighted now is because we're talking about the Ravens and the Browns. That fucking game wasn't on TV, god damn it. You had to stream that live somewhere. And this game was on national television. Everybody was watching prime time. And most people don't even know about what happened with the Browns and Ravens. So people were seeing it. This guy's pulling out a fucking index card. What? Wait, hold on a second. What's going on here? It was shocking to people. Not knowing that this had been done on multiple occasions. It wasn't just that Ravens-Browns game. This was done on multiple occasions in the last decade and a half. So, yeah, there's no controversy here as far as what was done. I will say this. It was odd that that the index card was actually folded. That, for me, would be controversial. Not the fact that the index card was used,
Agreed,
but the fact that the index card was folded, given an opportunity to add a little extra, that little push there that potentially gave them boys that first down. That's the controversy. Wouldn't you agree, Tim?
a little bubble in that paper, I would say. A little bubble.
No. Ain't nothing. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That paper was like feet shoulder width apart. Okay.
No. Hey, come on. Look. See, look. Once, look. Ready? Now, look. That was a folded shimmy paper right here. I'm folding the paper right here. It's nothing. Look, it's nothing. It's not gonna look at it. It's nothing. It's just look.
I don't know when you saw it from the side angle, there seemed to be a little bit of space between that paper. Not the one you did, Tim. You made sure you iron folded that. That thing is like that's folded.
Listen, here's another thing. When he got up, he didn't smile like being sarcastic. He was just like, from the cursing when people were saying, Blandino. Listen, he was the same guy who called the no catch with Des Bryant in the playoffs. Same guy, the same ref. So he called on a big play. So I don't see why.
Maybe he was returning the favor.
I just wanted to show
favor. There's no such thing as favor.
Your little index card here, just to show the folks at home the side view of what we have. So go ahead, but I just want to let the audience know what exactly we're working with here.
No. Listen, it was fair, Blandino. I don't know. Listen, I have a ref shirt on because I'm supporting the refs. They work so damn hard. People do not appreciate what they go through. Just like the ref who fell on Monday Night Football with the Buccaneers game. The ball. Now, yes, people are going to say, well, because of him, like 5 seconds went off. Hey, listen, did he control the whole rest of the game? Get the first down. If you would have got the first down, you wouldn't need this ref. Oh, my God. Referees, I support you. I'm happy the way you handled that game with the Raiders. It was fair. It was so fair. I don't have an issue with it. None of you guys shouldn't need this paper. This paper folded. It was not faux paper. It's just look. It's nothing with it. Moving on. The Seattle Seahawks, I believe they lost 40-7. 40-7 against the LA Rams in their house. Are the Seahawks LOB ever done? Oh man. My answer is yes, fellas. They're done. They have to start over. Start over, brand new. The bad part was there was a heated exchange between linebacker Bobby Wagner and Earl Thomas on Twitter. Earl Thomas was asked, should about Bobby Wagner's performance, and he basically said that Bobby should have never played in this game. They should have put a backup. You could see that Bobby wasn't himself. Bobby Wagner responded by saying to Earl Thomas on Twitter, basically mind his business. He's a jealous person. Erased the Twitter. Richard Sherman is getting older. Cam Chancellor is getting older. This is what happens with any top franchise. At a time, players get older, contract goes up. You got to start replacing. I think it's time for the Seattle Seahawks to start over, brand new. They're not the same team. Russell Wilson should not be running around the way he's running. He's running like a cat. If you see a cat run scared, he's running like a cat. There's no help. There's no running game. It's garbage. They have to start over and go back to the way they was when it was winning championships.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit to fix in Seattle for the future. If I were to tell you, gentlemen, back in probably August or September, beginning of September, when we kind of do our predictions of who would be like the leading tacklers, come second half season, would it be Bradley McDougald and Terrence Garvin for the Seattle Seahawks? It's a little worrisome, yeah. And like you say, Tim, Earl Thomas and Sherman, those cats, Chancellor, they're not getting any younger. It's those core guys that made the Legion of Boom what it was is pretty much not intact anymore, and that's basically the gorilla glue on that end. They're gonna have some holes to fix come draft time, especially when you consider the goal line has got to be number one, and then you consider what are they gonna do with the linebacker position. I believe one of those, I forget which one, if it's Wright or Bobby Wagner, might be a free agent this coming year. I can't recall, but
it's KJ Wright.
Is it right? Okay, yeah. Then Scooby, he's going to be out on the free agency, and I would say he's been playing a little bit better than Bobby Wagner lately on tape to me and to my eyes. So, yeah, there's going to be some holes, Tim. It's going to be interesting to see, especially when you consider they're also playing without a running back for the most part too.
Yeah, all facts. We all agree. Legion of Boom is the Legion of Bust at this point. It's that simple. There's nothing else to say. That Todd Gurley used him as a doormat last weekend. What do you have? 4 rushing touchdowns? He literally used his cleats and stomped mud holes in the entire Seattle defense chest. It's over. They're done. It's finished. That was a game they should have been up for, and they failed miserably at
it. I was reading Richard Sherman's contract. If they cut him, they save it by $11 million, I believe. So I could see Richard Sherman it being his last year with Seattle, especially like what Jim what Josh was just saying about keeping KJ Wright. You want to keep you want to try to keep as much of the front 7 together because they're all still young. Michael Bennett is, he's an older vet, but he's still there. You still got Averill. He'll be back. What happens with Sheldon Richardson? He's a free agent. Who got traded there from the Jets. Offensive line, Russell Wilson needs offensive line badly. Badly. You're paying this man all this money. want your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, to take a hit, and then it's down the drain. So it's gonna be interesting how they handle this in the offseason. Moving on, came out Chicago Bears. Now I know our 2MW brother Cooper's like, this is kind of too early to talk about, but this came out in the news after the Bears game that the organization now is questioning Mitch Trubisky as a franchise quarterback. This is disgusting. And why am I saying is it disgusting? Because here's what the Bears did to get to Trubisky with the 3rd overall pick. They traded up one spot. There's one spot. All right. They dealt the number 3 pick to go to number 2 pick. They gave up the 2nd round pick, the 4th round pick, and next year's 3rd round pick. A 4th and next year's 3rd round pick for a quarterback who played 1 year of college football in North Carolina. Okay, so you're already seeing this kid hasn't played much. What was you expecting to see that you gave up all those picks for? Now you're questioning the man? First of all, another thing, what is he surrounded by? Well, who's his wide receivers? Who was he throwing the ball to? Okay, you got Jordan Howard. Is Jordan Howard going to make a difference for a rookie quarterback? It's disgusting.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like you said, he's played 13 college games. Now he's how deep? 10 games into his NFL career, making it a total 23 games since high school. Yeah, that's a little lot considering, most college QBs actually play around maybe 20 to 40 some odd games before they reach the professional league. But, I don't know how they're going to sit here and try to crucify the kid when the past 2 weeks before this game, he was displaying a completion percentage of almost 80. And then before the game where he just threw 3 picks against Detroit, he had 78% completion against Cincinnati on 32 throws, and no picks. And this is the only second game he's had a multi-interception game. 7 picks total on the year. There's QBs that are not rookies that are out there even doubling what he has in interceptions. So he's pretty much as a rookie, he's doing, I would say, 80% of the time protecting the ball like he should be. You can knack him for his touchdown interception ratio right now, which is 1-to-1, but as a rookie, like you said, he's going to go through the growing pains, and you have to consider what he has at the wideouts. You could argue that Adam Shaheen could be his best wideout, or even Jordan Howard right now. So it's a little rough for him. They definitely need to surround him some pieces. They didn't obviously supply him with anything right off the bat to have immediate success as a quarterback coming off such a young tenure. So yeah, absolutely. If you want to sit here and crucify him, then damn, Chicago, let's see you draft up and go for Lamar Jackson or something this year too. Why not, right? Screw it. Panic. Get out of here. Give the kid a break.
Wagner?
Or is he froze? Oh, yeah, he might be having laptop issues. Okay. It's deceiving because it looks like he's sitting there reading, but
I was about to say that's some amazing talent he's showing, just standing still like that. That's amazing talent.
Yeah, I don't know. He might have seen the movie, the VHS tape from The Ring. You have 7 days.
Yeah.
He's just frozen there right now, and the phone's ringing in his house. We can't hear it. God bless.
Yeah, that
Steve.
was awesome.
You make it through the night. Don't answer the phone. God bless.
Yeah, but Shim, going back to it with Trubisky, I'm like, and then now another thing is a new coach will come into the fold. Are you going to tell, are you going to tell the new coach, okay, we invested everything in Trubisky, you got to work with this? And why did Trubisky ain't the guy? In my opinion, Trubisky was a quarterback at least for 2 years. I mean, you might have seen the potential in him and said, no, he's going to be something special. fold and he's surrounded by nobody. How is a quarterback like that going to really do much without nothing you give him to work with?
Agreed. Yeah, Fox, how you feel about the Mitch Trubisky situation? Is he being treated like some BS?
Oh God, he's being treated like some BS. But again, this was something that I had concerns about prior to. We had this conversation about where Mitchell Trubisky would land and what he could actually do. I think Dula was on the show when we did this back in, I think, July or August. But like you guys said, this guy had one season under his belt. We're talking about a guy who he was backing up. Remember, he started one season, his junior year. He was backing up Marquise Goodwin, if I'm not mistaken, was the quarterback's name in North Carolina. Do you guys know where he is now? Because I sure as shit don't. So you couldn't take this guy's starting job, and once he left, then you got the starting job. I'm sorry, just right there alone, you're suspect. Add the fact that it was for North Carolina. Yeah, he had a great completion percentage in North Carolina, but what was he playing against? Defensive players who were eventually going to be accountants or store clerks. I'm sorry. The Bears are down on him, and it's not fair. But if they actually did proper scouting report, they would have realized putting this kid in now was not the right thing to do. He needed to sit. You paid Mike Glennon all that money. Mike Glennon should have been playing this season, not Trubisky starting 10 of the games this season.
True story. Can't argue that fact.
All right, so we all agree. The Bears and possibly a top 5 draft pick, and let's see what other trades they come up with to move up. They might trade to move up to get another quarterback. Who knows what they're gonna do? But gentlemen, a couple of at the trade deadline, the 49ers traded the 2nd round pick to the New England Patriots for Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G now is 3-0 with the 49ers. Out now, was the 2nd round pick worth it? Yes, it was. Hey, just because, okay, we haven't seen playoff or anything like that, but we're seeing this kid under Kyle Shanahan be good. And the 49ers don't have a lot of great pieces around Jimmy Garoppolo, but you can see like him favoring the tight end like the way Brady favors Gronk. You see Trent Taylor in that slot, like the way you had an Elderman in a slot. But you see a lot of the same thing. They was even saying how Garoppolo stands in the pocket, drop the same way Brady does. It's like, wow. And listen, anything that was around Brady, you want to bring around your franchise. And I think this was a great move. I think the 49ers will be a better team next year.
Wait, Tim, you're saying this was a great move. I recall a couple of shows back when you were talking about Garoppolo, and why would anybody not a couple of shows back, free agency shows about Tony Romo, and why would anybody trade for Garoppolo when he's not proven? He's this, he's that, and Tony Romo is still out there free agent. Josh, do you recall? I recall a conversation like that occurring. Do you?
Oh, man.
And all of a sudden now this was a great decision to make. Oh,
Tim, I need a siren or something. We have like a call out on Fury. Like shit goes on. You've officially been. I don't know. Do you have a response? You just want me to go with my take right now? I don't know.
Yeah, go with your pick. I'm gonna respond afterwards. Go with your picture.
Take your time over there. You know what? I'm going to tell you this is a fantastic move by the 49ers organization, because I'm going to list off some names of the quarterbacks that have been taken in the 2nd round since 1992. I'm going to start with Tony Sacca. Who the hell was he? He played for the Cardinals. 0 starts. Matt Blunden with the Chiefs, 0 starts. Then Cordell Stewart, not a bad, he was exciting, but overall his touchdown to INT ratio was 77-84. Not good. But then you got Todd Collins from the Bills, 21 starts. Tony Banks for the Rams, 78 starts in 96. Jake Plummer, 136 starts. He was serviceable, but another journeyman quarterback like we have in our now modern day. He's a Ryan Fitzpatrick, I would kind of position him to. Then Charlie Batch with the Lions in 98, 53 starts. Sean King with the Bucs in 99, 24 starts. I can't even say that. Marquise Tuiasosopo with the Raiders, 2001. Quincy Carter, Spoonie's favorite quarterback, 2001, 34 starts. Tavares Jackson with the Vikings in 06. Kellen Clemens, Drew Stanton, John Beck, Kevin Cobb, Chad Henne, Brian Braun, Pat White, Jimmy Clausen, Brock Osweiler, Geno Smith, Christian Hackenberg, and now Deshaun Kaiser. And yes, I did leave out a couple because those are really the only people I can actually brag about coming out of the second rounds in the NFL draft. I'm going to give you Andy Dalton, which I think he's declining in the Bengals. I feel they should draft a quarterback because he's just unproven and he hasn't done jack in the playoffs. Colin Kaepernick, he was serviceable, did well with a good team around him, but started to decline a little bit, being blackballed now. And then there was another name in here, Derek Carr, probably the best name in this whole list right now for second round quarterbacks. But when you look at it, Jimmy Garoppolo, the way he's playing right now in 3 games with the utilities he has around him, Marquise Goodwin probably being his best, and you said it, Tim, is his tight end Selleck is his best friend right now. I can't knock the kid though. He has a 68.7 completion percentage with 3 touchdowns and 2 INTs. Yeah, a little bit, but it's still good for a 98 rating. And he's getting all the rave right now over there in San Fran, saying that, he's just up in the morale of the team. The players are actually coming out on game day a little fired up. He's making the people around him better. I mean, what else do you want from the guy? That's, in my opinion, that's first round material, and that's what they're getting. So a second for a second, even trade off, and now we're getting first round material out of the output of the trade. That's a green light in my stock trade.
Now, going back to what Fogman was saying, I don't need to measure this. I measured this now. Looking at both sides. Clearly saying, Fog, if you have Tony Romo, if you're a team that wants to win now, you go with a guy that's already proven. That's what it is. Now, Tony Romo, we all know, is a quarterback that can take anybody to the championship if you have the pieces in place. Denver Broncos, the Houston Texans. This is all before the draft. Now, the 49ers didn't make any sense.
Wait. Hold on a second, Tim. You said that Tony Romo is a proven quarterback that could take you to the promised land as long as you have all the pieces in place.
Yes, you did.
Okay. So you said that. I almost fell out of my phone. That's how crazy this is about to sound. I almost fell out of my phone.
Whoa, these stats.
How was that crazy?
Because Tony Romo had a lot of pieces in place in Dallas over the years with Dez, with Terrell Owens.
No, he did not. No, he did not.
13-3 records. I tell you, man. Winning the NFC East or back-to-back seasons. He never
had a 13-3. Hold on. First of all, he never had a 13-3 record. He had 2 12-4 seasons. Even Jerry Jones said it. That he never had a defense. He always had to. RG3 with one leg beat Dallas defense in the playoff. It always came down to Romo having to be the savior at the end. A quarterback, okay, everybody goes, well, okay, Eli Manning did it, or Brady did it. Okay, but those guys didn't have to do it every game. Guys who did their job, they had defense who did their job. Romo never had a defense at all. Never did. He had a running game with DeMarco Murray for 2,000-yard season, two times. Don't look at Julius Jones or Marion Barber. No, it wasn't.
Well,
On top of that,
what's Jimmy Garoppolo going 3-0 with?
here's another thing.
What's he going? Nate Cobbs would really have something to say about this. So would Sarita.
About what? What they got to say?
About what Dallas was working with and Romo was working with, as opposed to what Jimmy's working with.
Listen, no disrespect to Sarita and Nate Cobbs, I give him my love, and no disrespect. They have no right to compare 49ers to Dallas. I wasn't even comparing the teams. Never compared the team. There's nothing to compare about. Just way before Dallas, people give it the 20-year mark, but then look at them. I take a knee on that team. Again, as I was saying, they should be happy with Jimmy Garoppolo. They have a franchise quarterback. That's beautiful. I'm just saying for the trade, I'm not predicting the future if he's going to bring any championships because there's still a lot of work to be done. But again,
but you said he wasn't even worth the trade because he wasn't proving anything, and he was a product of the Patriots system.
I said
yes. Don't make me have to go back to find this on YouTube and bring that Fury show out, Tim, because I will bring it out and I will give it the next show that we
first round pick. I said first round pick. First round pick. I said first round pick. I didn't say second round pick. If you got Romo and you got Jimmy, now I'm talking about not the 49ers. I'm talking about a team like Denver and the Houston Texans. First round pick to the
shit. If he's going 3-0 with San Francisco, can you imagine
after the
Texans or Denver?
But we didn't. But see, that's the thing about it. We didn't see that yet.
Who said you didn't see that? I stated I believe he could be that.
Well, listen.
Back that tape.
Fuck. I believe some people. Do you believe in Santa?
Yes.
I absolutely believe in the fat jelly man.
There you go. I believe in. Okay, do you leave cookies and milk, Oreos? I believe. do you believe in the Tooth Fairy?
I leave him vegan, goat almond distilled milk, and oatmeal raisin cookies. Organic.
It's a lot of things that we may believe in. Some people want to see. I'm just saying, if you're a team like the Texans and the Broncos, and you got Romo sitting right there, and you don't want to waste the money that you put on this team, I'll pick Dallas for Tony Romo. You don't give a first round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. Hasn't done anything yet. What did he do? I mean, right now, trading for Jimmy Garoppolo, if you gave a first round pick for Garoppolo during the offseason, that's like what's his name from the Eagles? You guys love doing that, making guys look good and trade them, and then what's the guy's name? The backup quarterback for Michael Vick. The Cardinals traded with John. He sucked off of 4 games. What was his name?
Who?
Kevin Cobb.
Oh, Kevin Cobb, man, Anthony Reid did a miracle job with that. He robbed Arizona with that deal.
You go. It's also so my whole thing is this. Now you're telling me you have Kevin Cobb there who played 3 to 4 games. Those 3 to 4 games. Oh, you got to trade for him?
Okay, so I'm not gonna pin myself in with the rest of these idiotic and unintelligent sports analysts out there, because I was happy when we traded Kevin Cobb. I was thrilled when we got rid of Nick Foles, and I guess I was puzzled by what Seattle gave for what the hell was that guy's name?
From Green Bay.
Yeah, the quarterback from Green Bay. What the hell was that?
That was Matt Flynn, wasn't it?
Matt Flynn, yes. The highway robbery.
Matt Flynn.
Yeah,
I could not understand why teams traded for him, because there was a lot of things that were just there wasn't enough of a sample size. And when you watch Garoppolo play, you could see that he worked within the system. He operated within the system. He operated within his ability and the restraints of his ability. When you looked at Matt Flynn was a fucking anomaly. Nick Foles was an anomaly. These guys did things in their little time frame that you sat back and you go, holy shit. Kevin Cobb showed promise, but his touchdown interception ratio and completion percentage was horrible. And I was like, I was like, I hope that they get rid of this guy. When they traded him to Arizona and Arizona bought in, I was like, okay, fine, take him. But there's a lot of quarterbacks that I've watched over the course of years where I sat down and I go, man, this guy's junk, and people are going to they're going to sell him, and they're going to sell him high, and teams are going to get jerked over. And Jimmy Garoppolo was a guy who has proper mechanics. He has proper vision. He looks at he looks down the field. He goes through his progressions. There's something about Garoppolo that made me turn around and say, man, I believe in this guy. It's the same things that made me buy into Deshaun Watson being the most NFL-ready quarterback coming out of the draft. There were just certain things that he did that you sit back and you go, wow, this guy does the thing that star quarterbacks, that solid starting quarterbacks do. And Jimmy Garoppolo did those things, and it's why he's having some success. Now, the 49ers being 3-0, their defense has also been playing much better. And again, like Josh alluded to, his touchdown interception ratio is nothing to brag about, but the team that he's got around him is nothing to brag about. However, his decision-making is something to brag about. His leadership, that's something to brag about. The swagger that he's bringing to that ball club, that's something to brag about.
Well, first of all, what I like to say, okay, you said about the Matt Flynn deal. Okay, you're right. Matt Flynn didn't do no. All Matt Flynn had was, I think, the last 2 games of the season. Green Bay was getting ready for the playoffs, and he threw some touchdowns. But see, the new thing that a lot of teams do is they draft quarterbacks, guys with potential, even though they don't need them, because you're gonna have organizations and teams that need a quarterback, and they'll trade something off. Like let's call it Jacksonville Jaguars, Mark Brunell. Mark Brunell, I believe, was the 3rd string quarterback in Green Bay. Wow. Look how much Mark Brunell didn't show anything, really, and unless you saw him in preseason or come in for a snap here and there. With a quarterback question, he goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He led them to, I think, 3 AFC championship games. So it can happen. Kerry Collins. Kerry Collins was a guy with the I believe he was with the Carolina Panthers. Problems with him. He goes to the New York Giants. They went to their champion. They went to the Super Bowl the year 2000 versus the Baltimore Ravens. It can happen. I mean, listen, A.J. McCarron is one guy right now who showed that he could lead a team. He could play great in the playoffs. When Dalton went down, and they played, I forget, they played against the Bengals. The Bengals versus who was it they lost to? When it was the big hit with Burfict. Oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Steelers.
Yeah, it was the teams. The leadership of that team that lost the game, not A.J. McCarron. He did his part through his touchdowns. He played great. Now basically right now he's going to court to find out will he be a restricted free agent or unrestricted free agent so he could finally leave and go somewhere. This kid's the winner in Alabama. I think 2 titles. So if you don't trade so much for a backup quarterback you've rarely seen in the draft, I'm okay with that. But if you gotta choose between giving a 1st-round pick between a guy like Romo and a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, and you look at the team and you say, my team needs to win now because I'm not gonna have the same guys next year. I might have to cut Demarius Thomas, that's in the talk. Demarius Thomas. I might have to part ways with Emmanuel Sanders. I'm not liking. Then you go with the guy you already know. As far as the 2nd-round pick, I think it was a good trade. He's 3-0 with the 49ers. Hey, look, Jacoby Brissett. Look at him with the Colts. Not bad. especially now if Andrew Luck's career is over with that shoulder injury. He's in Europe right now getting opinions. Hey, you got Jacoby Brissett to lean on. Not a bad move. It just don't give up so high. What did the Cardinals give the Eagles? A first-round pick? It was stupid. And they paid them a shitload of money. Now, listen, the New York Giants, I'm pretty sure if they got Odell Beckham Jr., they're not gonna say, well, let Eli Manning. If Eli Manning walks, we're gonna start a rookie. No, I think for a quarterback who hasn't played, but they know, listen, this guy got potential, like an AJ McCarron. Hey, what about your boy Connor Cook? Not Connor Cook, excuse me, Cook from Michigan State.
Yeah,
he got drafted. Is it Connor Cook? Am I correct? Okay,
yeah,
look at him.
I think he's due, honestly. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I think like a week or two I wanted to bring him up when we were talking about one of those topics regarding quarterbacks, and it might have been talking about Kirk Cousins because of them coming out of the same college. But yeah, I think he is due to be one of those quarterbacks that actually gets his shot sooner or later. Just sitting on a roster, when this league is hungry for those quarterbacks and the success rate to be now, so I think his shot's going to be coming soon, Timmy. For damn sure.
I would agree. I would agree with Connor Cook's shot coming soon, but AJ McCarron, I completely disagree with. I don't know what people see. I don't know what people see in him. You're talking about a guy, Tim. You were talking about his playoffs, but he completed 56% of his passes in that playoff game. 1 touchdown pass and 1 interception. He only threw for 212 yards. So realistically, we're really talking about AJ McCarron? I'm sorry. I look at AJ McCarron the same way I look at Kevin Cobb, the same way I looked at Nick Foles, the same way I looked at Matt Flynn. I don't see it. I don't buy into this guy.
Yeah, McCarron just looked bad when he's coming for the short relief times for Dalton. I don't know what the hell I think he's trying to do way too much in like one throw. It's like, bro, stop trying to earn a 5-year contract off of one post route, chill. I don't know. I have way more faith in Garoppolo than I do.
Well, I'll tell you this. If I know the Browns they fired Sashi, and they got Dorsey as the GM, and I don't know what's gonna happen if Hugh Jackson will remain the coach. But if Hugh Jackson remains the coach, I am saying it right now. Let Hugh Jackson get AJ McCarron the way he wanted to get him. He's the only one who really, really worked with him in Cleveland. Get him with that 1st and 8th pick. You get the best players available. Do not get another quarterback. It's not going to work. Quarterback with years. Somebody who is at least used to the speed of the NFL. If you're going to have young talent around. You can't build with faith.
It's good with quarterbacks, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So why not draft a quarterback? You got an assload of picks in the draft.
I just think in Cleveland's sense, a rookie quarterback,
number 1 overall, your pick of the litter. And then what do they have? Number 5? You can take Saquon right there. You could have a quarterback running back tandem for years to come. Especially when you got a new GM. Well, it's not this Moneyball gimmicky type of GM. And you got Hugh in place who he's a no bullshit kind of guy. And you've said it in the past on the show, he's a QB guru kind of guy. Let him work with the quarterback. And if you're going to get a young, promising man right off the bat early, hell yeah. Coach him up, get him ready, prepare him. I think the future's bright for Cleveland if they just don't moneyball this shit anymore. And thank God they got rid of Sashi Brown and the rest of the crap in that front office.
Well, I mean, and my whole thing is this: if you have the money, you got Josh Gordon. Coleman is up and down. He's always getting injured. You really got no running game. You got a defense that's growing. Veteran quarterback.
They're young. They got the pieces in place. They're just young right now.
Okay, but now I gotta look at this. The Sean Kaiser, AJ McCarron. I'm not gonna go and look at Sam Darnold and Rose, and unless Is Sam Darnold or Rosen got the same height as Peyton Manning coming out? If you got the same height as Peyton Manning coming, oh my God, yeah, we're taking you. If they're guys that we don't say anything great, I would go with McCarron, Kaiser, let them battle it out. Take Saquon Barkley #1 overall. That number 8 pick, hey, if Derwin James falls in your lap, take an offensive play and a defensive play or another receiver. You got Kessler, Hogan, Deshaun Kaiser, or Sam Darnold or Rosen. That's 4 babies.
I told you guys before. Deshaun Kaiser is damaged goods in Cleveland at this point. They're better off trading him because Hugh Jackson screwed everything up with this guy. They're better off trading him and drafting a quarterback with their first pick. It's just that simple. Because no, you draft a quarterback and you keep Deshaun Kaiser. That quarterback that you draft, whether it's Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, you're going to wind up throwing into the fire. Because Deshaun Kaiser, and I said it before, the guy has great upside. He, in my opinion, has the best upside out of all the quarterbacks that came out of this past draft. But he's still a raw talent that needed to sit. He needed to sit. He needed to learn. And to be thrown into the fire the way he did and then pulled back out and then thrown back in again and pulled back out like he was some kind of fucking rag doll was completely wrong. He was mishandled by the entire Cleveland coaching staff. You need to trade him at this point. He doesn't need to be in a situation where he's battling to win because he's already fighting an uphill battle, considering the coaches don't have confidence in him.
All right, let's move on to the last topic. Owner Jerry Richardson of the Carolina Panthers has put his team up for sale, fellas.
Oh,
I'm
just
gonna say,
him? Was it just random? He was like, I just feel like selling Panthers today.
You know, there's allegations coming out that touchy, feeling. We all know what's going on with this, and you know, pay you out.
Dirty little man.
If I'm hoping, yes, I'll put it out there. I do want an African American owner or family to buy this team. But if that don't happen, what matters also is just the right person to buy this team, or right family. Not trying to stir up the pot or nothing like that, you know. Spoon does though, but I just the only reason why it's African American family or person is because it's something new. Nothing wrong with something new. And you gotta have a football background. You gotta have some type of background that they can relate into the business.
Wait, does the Jacksonville Jaguar? Wait, hold on. Do the Jacksonville Jaguars owner have a football background?
Excuse me 1 second, Fire. I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that, Fire. I'm gonna measure you right here. See, the thing is this. The whole thing is this. If you don't have a football background, at least you're gonna do your part and do your job and let the football people in front of you not trying to buy the team to prove a point and make things personal. That's the wrong thing. You shouldn't want to do that. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead, and I'll come back around to me. And I know this is gonna be a fun conversation right here. So,
you know, honestly, Tim, I'm sitting here trying to like Google who's like the richest people in Carolina area or who's come from Carolina area that's got some Guapington. It's tough, you know, because I understand the sentiment. You know, let's get some diversity in the ownership circle. It's a bunch of freaking planners, monopoly bag people that probably are on their life alert almost. So yeah, let's season it up a bit, you know. Let's get the boiled chicken crew out of there. But honestly, who besides I don't know if any other colored person besides Michael Jordan right now from Carolina has the M's. You said
Yep.
P did, but there's going to be some backlash about his feedback in the states or overall as a producer and a musician. Is it going to be well received? Is it going to be like looked as almost a tarnishment to the Shield or the league? It could be to some people, and others are going to look at it as diversifying it. So, but they're not. Honestly, I'm going to put it out there that P Diddy's not going to get by 31 white old dudes. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. At this point, your best bet is somebody like freaking John Legend coming out, partnering up with like Jay-Z or something. I don't know. Honestly, Tim, I really don't have an answer for you, and I wish I did. I don't know out there who of color actually has the money or who can team up. Even women. Let's get Alicia Keys, John Legend. I can only think of musicians right now. Shit, I don't know. Help me out, Fox. Fox is a smart man.
No, there isn't anybody, and you name some powerful people in music, Josh. NFL owners won't. This is an exclusive club. This is like trying to get into a golf club. You're trying to get into an organization, a fraternity of individuals where, there's exclusivity here, and the owners have control of who they allow in to their fraternity. So it really doesn't matter who of color that we have that has money. It doesn't matter what minority individual has money. It's going to matter whether they're accepted by those 31 owners. If they're accepted by those owners, then we could have a discussion. But until we can actually realistically see these, and I want to say 30 owners, because again, Jacksonville's owner is from the Middle East somewhere. I don't know how he got accepted. But the fact of the matter is, you've got to rely on 31 owners accepting this guy and bringing them into the NFL. Whoever this minority person might be, whether it be Michael Jordan, whether it be P. Diddy, whether it be, like you said, John Legend, they have to accept these individuals in. And you know what the acceptance is going to be? Do you have what we want as far as personality is concerned? And do you have the money to just pump into a team, even if that team isn't succeeding? Because if I'm not mistaken, Jacksonville's owner is loaded. And they didn't want to move the team out of Jacksonville. So he had the money to pump into. The good thing about him and smart thing about him is he wanted to fucking win too. So he put football people in positions to make those decisions to make it happen. But he had to get accepted somehow. And it was either by acceptance from who you are on the outside or who you are from as far as a dollar bill aspect. And unfortunately, Puffy, you could combine Puffy, Steph Curry, and Cap right now. They're not reaching that 30%, Josh, that you would put out, that you would have to reach to even begin the purchasing process of the organization that's Carolina Panthers, because I think they're up for sale for $2.3 billion. Puffy alone, his net worth is $820 million. You need $690 million to just meet the prerequisites of the purchasing process, let alone be accepted by those 31 owners.
Well, I'm glad you put a fog about Mr. Khan.
He was so happy he ran off the call.
Well, Well, damn. Yeah. Apparently, I don't know if Jerry Richardson has like hacking capabilities or if he's.
I'm nervous. I might be next.
I'm looking around right now. What? Is there anything
Shit,
connected
that-
to the house?
that- He was getting ready to talk, and then boom, he got swiped.
Damn.
Facebook sniper got him.
Tim, are you inside the Google Hangout? Are you trapped? Freaky Friday? We'll give him a minute or so to come back.
Here we go. He's back. Tim, you okay?
I may have to ask. I need to borrow another laptop from Mr. Khan. I was saying. he's worth Mr. Khan's worth $72 dollars. Now you say the franchise being sold for $2 billion. He's worth $7.2 billion. But see, again, as like I was saying, when he bought it, this is a businessman. He came in with money. He surrounded himself with guys who know football. All he wanted to do was know what they was doing with his money, who they were investing in, what they was doing. And I don't have a problem with that. It quotes like, I'm starting Colin Kaepernick. We do know Cam Newton is there, right? That's a sign of being personal. You're doing it to prove a point. Now, granted, we all agree that Colin Kaepernick can be on an NFL roster. That if it wasn't for his protest, and let's just say he didn't get signed, nobody would care. And because of what he had did, what he's fighting for, and now everything matters. But if he didn't protest and he was a free agent, nobody would care. Nobody would care
because I would have definitely questioned some of the quarterbacks that had been signed ahead of him. Are you nuts? From a football aspect, realistically. The three of us know football. From a football aspect, forget him kneeling. Yes, it would have been the shit show that we've seen. But realistically, we would have questioned some of these signings.
Five. Of course, in 2MW, we would have said who are the guys that are out there, but it wouldn't have gone the way it went this offseason. It wouldn't have. You can't say it would. We would have discussed it, but there's the ones out there in the background who don't watch the game of football at all. Word about it. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
this proves. So this proves
that you're right about.
So this is what it proves. Of course, we're gonna talk about we football junkies. We're gonna talk about everything they got to do with the sport. But the ones who don't watch the game, when you come out and make a statement like that, now I'm not gonna say you don't watch the game, but maybe you're not watching it as much as everybody else. Football junkies are. When you make a comment like that, hey, you do know if you buy this team, you're buying what's already on it. Cam Newton's on it. Are you going to just trade Cam Newton to make a point on Colin Kaepernick? No, you can't. I mean, if you do that, I'm like, oh, well, listen, you know what? You shouldn't have Kuechly on your team either. He's not a good look.
Well, if
I will make up so much stories. You know what? Yo, you should trade me for
Tim, I don't think Colin
Kaepernick
was getting into this to get a position on the football.
No. The original plan, the original statement was the starting quarterback.
That
was the original statement.
Who made that statement? Puffy, right?
Is he there?
Yeah, that's not. Colin Kaepernick wasn't going to entertain that, and Colin Kaepernick was very specific. But in his response, he didn't respond to that. He responded to ownership of the team.
Now, but here's the thing. Now he wants to be a part owner of the team. Now, see, here's another thing I always say. You guys do know when you put a bunch of hamsters in one cage, what happens?
They play together, and then they eat carrots, and they do the wheel.
And they tear the shit out of each other. We all know. Eat each other up. I got hamsters. I know. So all I'm saying is this: you put a whole bunch of celebrities together, only one thing. You already know what's gonna happen. You're gonna have a football mind, a political mind, versus an entertainment mind. Somewhere down the road, it's gonna be, I don't do what you say, you don't know what you're gonna do, X, Y, and Z. It's gonna be problems.
I disagree.
This is why
I disagree. I respectfully disagree when it comes to Puffy. He, at the end of the day, is a businessman.
Well, here's the thing.
He's a businessman. This is about
saying,
business. He wants to prove a point, but let's not forget that Sean Combs is about proving an egotistical point. This isn't about him making his impact on the NFL. This is about him one-upping Jay-Z because Jay-Z had ownership of a basketball team. This is about him owning a football team and saying, hey, I could put together a winner. And the business mind that Sean Combs is, I would have confidence in him, even though he's an asshole. I would have confidence in him putting together a football mind to put together a winning franchise.
All I'm going to say right now, I'm putting my sunglasses on because I did not say what Fogman said. I had nothing to do with that. I didn't call no words. Listen. No. Here's what I mean. Now, I did not say that he would be the one causing the issues. Because football. I believe his son was playing football in at USC or something like that. What I'm saying is this. This guy's been doing business for years. MTV, all types of music. Listen, all national. Taking the band for years. I've done anything with business. Colin Kaepernick never did business before. Never did business. Curry never did any type of business. I'll have an exception for LeBron James. LeBron James does business. So you want a guy who come in here business. Not somebody, don't get me wrong, if you don't know football, you make sure you do what the owner from the Jacksonville Jaguars did. With football. But at the same time, as long as you can speak the language at the round table with the owners, that's a big need. Now, of course, for something different, we want African Americans to come in here and try to own the team. But also, you gotta be somebody who's right, the right person. It can't just be anybody. Oh, I don't care who it is because of the color of their skin. Now, it's not gonna fly. It shouldn't be a main of thought. I picked Michael Jordan because I know Michael Jordan owned the basketball team. He's around sports. Hey, listen, if Sean Puffy bought the team but surrounded himself with football people, I'm not mad at it. You know why? Because he's about business. He's not about separating culture and nationality. That's not his game. He's about business. Listen, I give you another guy that we haven't even talked about. Vince McMahon from WWE. NFL. Now, he put a league in no time. This guy's fierce. I would love for Vince McMahon to walk in here doing the walk like this. In the middle of the table, no chance in hell, sits down, and he'll tell everybody either you sign this shit or I'm a tombstone your asses. I would love to see some shit like that. Vince McMahon.
Tim, the problem is we're naming all characters, all dudes that have personalities that don't coincide, I should say, what these other 31 NFL owners are. Look, man, Major League Baseball, Mark Cuban wanted to get a Major League Baseball team. He's got the money to pump into it, and the Major League Baseball owners said, fuck no. They don't want to ruin what they've got going on, and the NFL is no different. They're stuck on their traditional ways. They're stuck on their old grandpa thought process of, hey, we we want a guy to be a traditional footballist or a guy who is going to pump ridiculous amounts of money into a team because, well, we don't want to lose anybody. We don't want to downsize. The only reason Khan is in Jacksonville, like I said, and like you reiterated, Tim, $7.2 billion. He's got money to burn. NFL owners are like, fuck it. Let him come in. Who gives a shit? He'll keep the team and the organization existing. I don't think they expected him to actually make progress. They just brought him in because he had money to spend and they didn't want to lose a team.
I doubt I doubt that. I'm sorry. You got something to say, Shim?
No, sir. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I really doubt that, Fob. I don't think they come in the aspect of, now he ain't gonna do nothing, just give it to them. Nah. The point is this: if you speak the same language they speak, if you all about business, what's your reason why you're buying this X, Y, and Z? Hey, listen, if you buy this team, are you gonna stay in Jacksonville? The man did the right thing. He basically came in there, did his part to communicate with the other owners, and he built a winning team.
Tim, and if I had $5 billion right now at my disposal, and I went and sat down with the NFL owners and told them what I wanted to do, and I can articulate a football game plan.
Well, I don't.
Better than Puffy.
It's not about football.
And I had $5 billion at my disposal. No. I bet your ass between me and Puffy sitting at the table, an established businessman, and me with just my football mind and $5 billion, I guarantee you the NFL owners would vote me over him any day of the week.
Wait, Fog, the only way they're going to do it is what, first of all, is your character, your intentions, your background. What are you going to do? This is all it is. All that counts. It's not, you don't got to, the owner from Jacksonville is already proven, you don't got to know the game of football. But what he did was, from the business point, yeah, he owns it. Okay, your job is like any other owner's job. Get the best football people around you to help your team win. So it's not like he got hired because of that. He got hired because he's a businessman. He's a family man, the businessman, no intentions. He's not like Josh said earlier, too much in the media about other stuff, other background stuff. He's basically is about, this is business. I'm coming from business. Do I know football? No. I will stay in Jacksonville. What I got to do? You know what? I need me a GM. I'm gonna get the guy, the GM with me. He gonna help me get the coach, X, Y, and Z. He's learning the game as it goes on. Look at Woody Johnson, New York Jets, Johnson & Johnson Powder. He's the owner of the Jets, right? Now he bought the Jets about 8 years ago. Nothing about football. This is where they at. Does he hire the right staff? No, he doesn't. Now, but does he speak the language the other owners does? Yes, he does. That's all that matters. The owners don't care what you do with your team. As long as they're going to stay intact with the other 31 teams, as long as you speak the language at the table for all of us to make some money, that's all that matters. All that matters. With a personal agenda, nah, it's not going to fly. It's not going to fly.
Money talks.
Listen, well, Vince McMahon right now, he's worth $1.5 billion.
It's going to be
and if Vince McMahon decided to do this, okay, let's say Vince McMahon decided to do this and decided to bring in Puffy as a counterpart, okay? And again, let's take me, for example, and $5 billion. I had $5 billion at my disposal, and you got Vince McMahon at $1.3 billion and Puffy at $820 million. I guarantee you, I would get the nod at ownership.
It pretty much wraps it up. I think. Some final thoughts for us, Tim.
Well, listen, it's going to be an interesting off season. well, once the season is over, going to the playoffs, if let's see who makes it. It's going to be a crazy 2 weeks. Right now, we have the AFC look like it's practically secure. It's just the seeding part. In the NFC, you have the NFC South, Carolina, Atlanta, and battling for a spot. The Dallas Cowboys, they need to just win out. They need one loss from Detroit, and they need one of the teams from NFC South to lose 2 games, which is possible. Why? Because they all play each other. Well, I'll tell you this right now: Zeke is back. It's going to be a pretty darn 2 weeks. The Eagles, they play with Nick Foles against the Giants. Eagles fans, I'm sorry to say, you shouldn't be so hyped about it. The Giants took you out of the distance.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Wait a minute. You were talking about Nick Foles and how
Don't
good
start,
he
fellas.
could
We got to
possibly
end the
be
show.
last
Don't
week.
buy into his bait. You know what he's doing.
What happened, Tim? We could discuss it another time. Listen, I'll close it out with this. Merry Christmas, Eagles fans. We got to win. We'll probably get 2, maybe a third win because all we've got to play is shit. The Raiders and the Cowboys are next. Merry Christmas, Vikings fans. You guys are going to the playoffs and actually have a chance in making it to the Super Bowl again. Congratulations. Merry Christmas, Steelers fans, because regardless of how fucked you are playing the Patriots, you're probably going to be in the AFC Championship again. Jacksonville, Merry Christmas. Guess what? You're going to win the division. Holy shit, that hasn't been done since Tom Coughlin was there in 95 or 96.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You're still going to lose in the playoffs. Blake Bortles is your quarterback. Don't be confused. And Merry Christmas to, well, hell, the San Francisco 49ers. You finally, since Steve Young, have found a franchise quarterback. Congratulations and enjoy it.
That was very nice. Tim, do you want to be nice before we get off air?
He can't be nice.
Yeah, I know. It's a little hard.
He's worse than the Grinch.
No. I'm just, I'll say Merry Christmas to everybody, to MW, and the NFL teams out there, Cowboys fans, Merry Christmas. We will have a good Christmas. We will be celebrating the Dallas Cowboys making the playoffs. And I'm just going to say this. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Looking at the teams in the playoffs, we got a good shot. Aaron Rodgers won't be there. We have a good shot.
I appreciate you folks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight and tuning in to another beautiful edition of Football Fury. Tim and I will be back Thursday night for the pick'ems for Week 16. Thank you to Fox for coming out again as a special guest on tonight's show. And happy holidays and Merry Christmas. We will see you knuckleheads on the 26th. Be safe and enjoy the holidays, folks.